Welcome wanderers to Wanderlust Stories, where the world's most enchanting places come alive. My name is Wanderlust, and let me tell you about the night everything changed for me, right here in my little riverside village on Sulawesi. It started with a whisper, and not from a person. I walked down to the river at 3 a.m, half asleep, mosquitoes buzzing around me, and found a mermaid begging me to save her life. And before I could figure out if I was dreaming, I heard men crashing through the trees looking for her. Yeah, this story gets wild. And even now, whenever I pass that same river, the Sungai Lemba, my skin still tingles. So picture this. I'm exhausted, carrying a cold metal pot, because my Aunt Maren decided I needed to fetch water before sunrise again. She never cared that it was freezing or pitch black, or that the jungle around our stilt house felt alive at night. I stepped outside, and the air was thick, that humid Sulawesi darkness where everything feels heavier. The cicadas, usually screaming their hearts out, suddenly went quiet. The bamboo fence cast long shadows from the moon. Even the palm trees seemed to stop swaying. I'm walking down this narrow dirt path, half asleep, half annoyed, when the air goes still. No wind, no insects, just silence. Then I hear it. Help me. My whole body locked up. That voice didn't sound human. Soft, echoing, almost watery, like it bubbled up from beneath the Sungai Lemba itself. But curiosity, or stupidity, dragged me forward. And that's when I saw her. A mermaid. A putri duyung. Right there on the riverbank, her tail shimmering like moonlight hitting a coral reef. She was bruised, shaking, terrified. Her dark hair was tangled with mangrove leaves. She reached for me. Before I could blink, I heard voices behind me. Find her! Dia tidak jauh! She's not far. My heart slammed. She wasn't just hurt. She was being hunted, here, in my own village. Something snapped inside me. I didn't think, didn't plan. I just grabbed her, this shimmering, impossible creature, and dragged her into the bushes. Her tail was heavy, cold, covered in cuts. I could smell the river mud on her skin. Branches cracked beneath us. The hunter's boots crunched along the path. I pressed my hand over her mouth, her breathing so fast it shook my palm. Torchlight flickered through the banana leaves. I could hear the men muttering in Bahasa Indonesia, frustrated. She must be close. Check near the mangroves. They passed. Barely. When the forest went quiet again, my lungs started working for the first time in minutes. But now I had a new problem. I was responsible for keeping this mermaid, a creature I only knew from Indonesian folktales, alive. Here's the part I rarely admit. I didn't help her because I was brave. I helped her because I know what it feels like to be trapped. My whole life, people made decisions for me. Aunt Maren barked orders. Her kids ignored me unless they wanted something. I was invisible in my own home, just the girl who scrubbed pots and carried water from the river. On Sulawesi, people whisper legends of river spirits and sea maidens, but no one ever whispered anything about me. So when Salora, yes, that was her name, looked up at me with terrified eyes, I saw myself. And suddenly, I couldn't leave her there. Not in the jungle. Not in the dark. Not surrounded by men who wanted to drag her away. So I brought her to the one place no one in my family cared about, the abandoned hut behind our rumah panggung, our stilt house. It had sagging bamboo walls, a rusted roof, and smelled like wet coconut husks. But it was hidden. And for once, helping someone made me feel like my existence mattered. I learned quickly that hiding a mermaid in a Sulawesi hut is not easy. Her tail glowed faintly, casting blue light on the bamboo floor. Her skin was scratched, her voice barely a whisper. I warmed water over a tiny clay stove and dabbed it over her wounds, the steam mixing with the smell of river moss. Then the hut creaked. I turned around, heart stopping. Jorin, Maren's son, standing in the doorway, rubbing sleep from his eyes, holding a kerosene lamp. He saw Serena. He froze. then made a sound so loud I swear half the jungle stopped moving. I lunged at him. "Shh, Jorin, please!" Salora raised her hands weakly. "I won't hurt you," she whispered. Once he stopped panicking, she told us the truth. She wasn't running from humans. She was running from her own ocean kingdom, from a prince she refused to marry. The Indonesian seas are deep, full of myths, but hearing about a real ocean king, a real royal chase, it made everything terrifyingly real. We had to get her back to the water, to the deeper part of the river that connected to the sea. But sneaking her there meant passing Aunt Maren, the hunters, and half the village. Before we left, Jorin asked the question all Indonesians would ask. If we do this, what do we get? Salora's answer: anything. That word echoed in the bamboo hut. We carried her through the mangroves, fireflies lighting our path. The river was calm, too calm, as if waiting for her. We lowered her into the glowing water. She smiled, a quiet, grateful smile. Then she swam away. No reward, no magic. Just disappeared beneath the surface like she was never there. Jorin snapped. "That's it. I'm telling Mother." He sprinted back toward the house. I chased after him, feet slipping on the muddy ground. But the moment he stepped inside, he screamed. Not out of anger, out of terror. The kind of scream that makes your stomach drop. Then silence. What he saw in that house, I still don't know. But whatever it was, it shut him up for good. I returned to the hut, shaking, heart pounding so loud the geckos on the wall skittered away. The lamp flickered. Something was sitting in the middle of the bamboo floor. A wooden box, decorated with shells and coral, unlike anything crafted in our village. It looked alive. I opened it slowly. Inside were jewels. Pearls bigger than beetle nuts. Sapphires brighter than Indonesian seas. Gems shimmering like coral reefs near Lombok. And in the corner, a single bead. Salora's bead. Her way of saying she didn't forget. Her way of saying thank you. The kind of thank you only a creature of the sea could give. I pressed it to my chest. For the first time in my life, I felt seen. Not as a servant, not as a burden, but as someone worthy. That night, I left my aunt's house, quietly, barefoot, carrying the box close, wrapped in a sarong. I walked past the coconut fields, past the sleeping goats, past the paddy fields shimmering under starlight. When the sun rose over the horizon, orange against the ocean, I was miles away, free, for the first time ever. I built a small hut near the coast, where fishermen rarely go, a place where the waves hum softly at night, a place Salora could find, if she ever chose to. But here's the part that still keeps me up at night. If Salora escaped, if the hunters failed, if the king beneath the Indonesian seas is still searching, then why do I keep seeing ripples near my shore at night? And who, or what, is watching me from beneath the waves? Because sometimes, when the moon hits the water just right, I swear I hear someone whisper, "Nara, if you want the next chapter, trust me, you're going to want to be here tomorrow." This story? It's far from over.